But if there is going to be this reconstruction fund, and it is, as you said, one of the causes of this thing, and presumably Iran now has the ability to hold the people. So we're going to assume that these Gulf states are going to come up with a significant amount of this money, and they're going to rebuild a lot of infrastructure. That can't be a good thing for anybody. But it's in the interest of those who want to enable safe passage through the.
This model was delayed for 10 years!
$300 billion and get those sanction relief, which they are.
Damn. 10 years.
And the lifting of the oil sanctions allows the transfer of oil, which is a major income source for Iran.
And that happens to be, that's as soon as this deal is signed in Switzerland on Friday, that's Iran has the ability to sell its oil again under the terms of the agreement. So, Iran, look, the US have done enormous damage. The US and Israel have done a significant amount of damage to Iran's nuclear capability. It is true that a lot of Iran's nuclear material is buried under a mountain somewhere and much less dangerous than it was. Those are the good things. But there's no question that this negotiated deal to get us basically out of there, to get our forces out to end this war, it involves a lot of a significant amount of hard things that we have to swallow, giving Iran all kinds of financial.
Holy shit!
Behavior obviously is going to take a lot of U.S. resources.
1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4.
The priorities of the deal will be established and reached, which allows them to immediately for 60 days. Allowing some of those assets to be unfrozen and some of those sanctions to be lifted. If that happens, what that looks like.
Skeptical about that because I think once you rotates out anyway. Once you've made this enormous effort that we had in the last 2-3 months, stranglehold on Iran. Once you lift that stranglehold, it's very difficult to get just all of the conditions required to keep it in place. Let alone the fact that we're coming up to midterm elections. Should the fighting resume, should the shooting resume over the Gulf and into Iran, you can expect oil prices to go right back up again. And I'm guessing the president doesn't want that to happen 2 months before the midterm elections, with the implication that could happen. So I think the idea that we're going to be able to come back again to enforce aspects of this militarily, if Iran is not meeting them, I think, let's hope we can do it. But
This is the memorandum of understanding.
Yeah, exactly. And look, this is a process that is a ceasefire with these various conditions.
Teddy bear, bunny, chick, fox, unnamed, yellow bear, endoskeletons. Oh, what about Sparky or Beaver? Beaver.
It sort of sets the table for those negotiations, and we'll see. I think backing up those negotiations with the threat of force is very important because Iran. I mean, frankly, you can trust Iran. They've lied, they've killed Americans, they've been guilty of extraordinary breach of international law and human rights with their own people and everything else. So the idea that we're going to trust them to agree to negotiated settlement.
Sasquatch.
Any other countries involved. That's going to have a lot of faith in the Iranians.
Say squatch.
Before you go, I still want to start with this. This is more from President Trump, specifically earlier in France, on our economy and those oil prices.
The stock market. A week ago, before we started, it was higher than it was when we started. But it's only that we had a very longest economy we've ever had. Oil is coming down. We're going to see everything follow. Everything follows the cost of energy. We're going to end up having a lower most energy anywhere in the world.
That perspective.
Oh.
And as the resident said, the U.S. economy has shown remarkable resilience over the last 3 months. You know, if you'd said a year or two ago, essentially the Strait of Hormuz is going to be closed for 4 months, you would have said, oh my God, the oil price is going to go through the roof, damaging effect. It hasn't. Inflation has gone up. Now that the oil price has come down, even that little bit of spike in inflation has come down. The U.S. economy is in very strong shape. But it's not just the stock market. You know, the job market keeps seeing very good numbers on jobs. Inflation has gone up a bit, but will come down again. The underlying performance of the US economy is really very robust. The aspects of this. Getting the world economy back to some sort of even keel and stability.
Yeah, and getting gas back below $4. Forget our plus now, it's $4.02 a gallon at pump at the average. Jared, it's great to have you.
Thanks, John.
All of that, thank you, Sean.
Sandra, drop a play out on Capitol Hill today. What else is there? We're expected to see a Senate confirmation hearing for President Trump's DNI nominee, Jay Clayton, until he was told not to appear and the hearing was called off. Our chief congressional correspondent, Chad Kirkland's got more for us at Capitol Hill. We were expecting to see Democrats questioning an empty chair. What happened?
We did too, back and forth, back and forth. The president's overnight statements and a shot canceling the hearing for Jay Clayton, which he cannot do. There was mass confusion whether the hearing was on or off. We're going to have an intelligence committee confirmation hearing. Who knows the answer? The president overstepped his bound, saying he was canceling the hearing. Well, in a sense, he's canceling the hearing, not withdrawing the document.
Yeah, I don't think that's his call.
Late this morning, Intelligence Committee Chairman Tom Cotton said the committee would proceed with Clayton quote unless the president directed him not to. Jim Powell canceled the hearing. He said it was so to the crowd that the president had directed Clayton not to appear. Democrats accused the president of playing his fire on national security. John Cotton had no intent for national security. For him to be chosen by
Oh, 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 dai una aia me dong rai una dai no dong 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 dai una dai no.
now,
Why? Wait, cocaine. I don't want to go to a cocaine sale. It's boring. What? Sounds like so much bliss. I can do music with my own wrist, 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 wrist. Oh shit! Wrist, 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 wrist. Oh fuck! No. What?
Goals of Roslyn Capital. Roslyn Capital is a trusted
No.
leader in helping people acquire
I don't really
precious
think
metals.
they are
Gold
fun no more.
Liberty Gold and silver truths and
The
premium
the
coins.
Boswell.
Preserve your wealth. Call Roslyn Capital to receive your free Roslyn Guide to Gold, Gold and Precious Metals IRA, and Silver Brochure. With Roslyn, there are no gimmicks, no hassles, and they have fast, reliable shipping. Gold is money. Make gold your new standard. Call Roslyn Capital today at 800-630-8900. 800-630-8900. That's 800-630-8900. If you're a tool person looking
Where'd you get those?
Westlaw moves 20. And with over 65,000 five-star reviews, homeowners across the country.
Don't know.
Right.
Adam, Adam.
Standard luxury bathroom design.
Do.
Big problem started with some extra savings. This week, give 1% off your bathroom plus 20 months of no payments and no interest financing with no money down to get started. This is your opportunity to take your bathroom from old and outdated like this and turn it into something new, bomb, like this. Call 1-800-BLACK-SHORE or visit BlackShoreBath.com now to lock in 20% off your project with 20 months of no payments, no interest finance, and no money down to get started. Don't wait. It's awful little basketball. That's short hope. Remodel, reimagine.
Back to our top story. President Trump warning Iran repeatedly bombing will resume if Iran does not comply with the newly agreed memorandum of understanding. Correspondent Max Gordon is reporting live on all.
Ham's Fox Start Kitchen.
Hey, Sandra, we'll hear the Gulf leaders are welcoming the potential for peace to come to the region, and we are looking more
At Flumpties.
after a senior administration official read off the text of the deal to reporters today. Meanwhile, President Trump says that if the U.S. doesn't get the terms that it wants, more military action could be on
Cause
the way.
what?
Understanding if it doesn't get done in 60 days or so, then we go back.
Down, down, down.
Because we're never going to let them have a nuclear weapon. I think if we know to it, you'll see that very clearly in the agreement. According to a senior administration official, Iran has agreed they will destroy their enriched stockpile of nuclear material. But President Trump said tonight that Iran's ballistic missile program will likely not be up for discussion. One thing that will be up for discussion is reconstruction money. The U.S. will work with regional partners to develop a plan with at least $300 billion for reconstruction and economic development in Iran. But the administration has stressed that no U.S. money will be going to Iran. Meanwhile, ship traffic is resuming in the Persian Gulf, according to data from Kepler. At least 4 Venezuelan oil tankers owned and operated by Iran have passed the U.S. blockade line. Free passage through the Strait of Hormuz and a lifting of the U.S. blockade is part of the current deal cut with Iran. A senior U.S. official confirming the agreement allows Iran to immediately begin selling oil and fuel. Monitors say hundreds of
No, it
ships are
isn't.
made in the Persian Gulf.
It's a me stoop restaurant.
To also becoming major
Race to
factor in
reach.
upcoming negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. Today, more Israeli airstrikes and rockets launched at Hezbollah. Iranian leaders say an end to the fighting and a withdrawal of Israeli forces are tied to any future agreements. But Israel has rejected any notion that they'll pull out of Lebanon or stop fighting Hezbollah, which has been attacking settlements in northern Israel. Now, Iranian state media reported on this upcoming signing ceremony, saying that the president Masoud Pezeshkian could be there. President Trump saying that he might attend as well. Back to you.
Okay, Max Gordon out of Dubai for us. Thank you, John.
All right, Sandra, changing gears now. New details of the Boyle terror plot targeting that White House UFC event. Federal investigators say one suspect admitted targets of the attack included capitalist elites and billionaires. Rhetoric that sounds a lot like this from Democrats in Washington. You got billionaires getting richer.
No, he's not.
Ordinary people all struck. I want a Democratic Party that is going to stand for the working and middle class and stand up against the billionaire class.
Elon Musk has bashed against Trump administration and others in the industry to break the rules.
Americans need more jobs.
Cookie!
More privileges for millionaires.
Motherfucker's like, cookie!
William, I'm not going to tell you again. You can't stop that screen and go upstairs to screen.
Great to spend time with you this afternoon. You know, as we saw with President Trump and Butler and Pompeo at the White House Correspondents Association dinner, if you demonize someone enough, some crackpot somewhere is going to rise up and take action. That appears to be what happened here.
Well, John, not just President Trump, his administration, and his family, but I would go so far as to say that conservatives can hardly gather anymore without fear for their lives. We see it on college campuses, of course, with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which is anywhere that conservatives gather, they have to be fearful. Now, maybe that's always...
Or like a random sound, other than just, I like paper clips.
The Democrat rhetoric, whether it's coming from Mamdani or any of the lawmakers that you just played, or the Democratic Socialists of America, their platform very much is to demonize billionaires, to say people like Elon Musk don't deserve what they have, to tell certain people in this country that not only do they have to be upset that people have more than they do, but perhaps they should do something about it. And to different people, that message resonates differently, and to some, it resonates in a way that they have to take on violence or other extreme matters to see that be resolved. And it's despicable, it's disgusting, but Democrats and other lawmakers and other, I would say those running for office, they don't seem to care that they're on.
Plus more, so don't please if you are a baby.
Fought against UFC Freedom 250.
Episode trouble, episode trouble, episode trouble.
We're living through a new wave of politically motivated leftist violence that is eerily similar to previous waves. One of the more unnerving parallels has been the revitalization of small cell terrorist organizations that, much like the anarchists of the 1910s, the Marxist guerrilla movements of the 1960s and 70s, set out to murder law enforcement. It looks like every major Trump event from here on in is a major target.
Certainly, whether it be a Trump event or a conservative event, but I think this expands well beyond that when you talk about this new revitalized class warfare. When you look at the suspects, not only in this foiled terror plot at the UFC event, but you look at several other instances in this country, from Luigi Mangione to what happened in Los Angeles with the fires and that alleged suspect there's a similar threat and narrative. It's young people primarily who are very angry at what they believe are the elites or the billionaires or the trillionaires, and they don't seem to understand that those people have done a great service not only to mankind, but that just because you don't like them and you don't like that they have more than you doesn't mean that you get to take their life or take what they have. But young people are hearing this. These people are in their 30s or younger. These are young people who should be living their life, who should be trying to attain their goals and achieve, but instead they're looking to carry out events that are not only going to kill people, but are going to ruin their lives instead. You have to ask yourself, why? Why do they want to be martyrs for this cause? It's disturbing. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon, John.
Yeah, nor do I. And neither does J.D. Vance. Here's what he said on where we are as a country.
I do think the political violence and record.
There we go.
Control, but thank God we've got good law enforcement, good FBI, because it didn't even get close to the point of execution.
I didn't get close to the point of execution, but if it hadn't been for the chief suspect, Tyson, saying,
My arm.
called police.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4. I am 4. Have we missed before?
Officers and agents, they are
A horrible 4 impression.
all the time in every instance, and we know that in several cases we've got entire police departments that have been hollowed out, and that's also a matter from the left, right? Abolish ICE, abolish the police. So not only do we have to rely on under-resourced police departments and federal agents, but then we also have the left demonizing a certain group in this country, which happens to be not just conservatives, not just Trump administration officials, not just President Trump and his family, but just conservatives, elites in general. That's a whole lot of people that they put into that basket of deplorables, as Hillary would say. And it's very frightening. Now, thank goodness this was foiled.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that certain individuals aren't going to try
1,
this again. It seems like
2, 3,
whether it be
4,
corresponding
5.
250. We've got a lot of events coming up in Washington, D.C. to celebrate this country's birthday, and everybody there is going to have to look over their shoulder. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Already people move.
To do something about it are choosing not to. It's a very conscious decision.
Yep, they're already moving.
No way to live, that's for sure.
They are already moving.
Thanks for doing that.
They're already moving.
Thanks, John.
Wait. Uh-oh.
House Democrats descend on a New Jersey ICE facility staging an unsanctioned field hearing after weeks of anti-ICE protests. Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf is here. He joins us next.
Everyone's already leaving those stages. I don't even know what this is. Probably just the kitchen.
Even Sager's been hurt. As a retired doctor, and I told to myself, I can survive. The Revive-O-On has lidocaine to block nerve vein signals. Revive also comes in a spray for harder reach areas. Getting older happens, but living with bacon doesn't happen. Try Revive like I did, and get your freedom back. Feel alive with Revive.
No!
Our retiree, I'm not living on a pension.
Holy shit.
Almost $40,000 from the IRS. There's no way I can pay that, but tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. That is a miracle in my book.
At Tax Relief Advocates, we may be able to significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe the IRS.
I heard their advertisement on the radio. And I made the call that changed everything.
Call 800-404-4792. 800-404-4792.
Uh-oh, JJ.
Today's weather is more unpredictable than ever. You can get away from this weather, but your house can't. If you don't have the right windows and doors, you're just pushing your luck. Renewal by Anderson is the nation's best window and door replacement solution. We don't just build our own windows, we actually make our own window frame material. It's designed for extreme weather with this straight insulated.
What is it? I'm not here.
But you might as well call it magic. Why? Because our windows won't.
What the fuck?
They're not like wood. And they're
Anyways.
like aluminum. Maybe they are magic. Ta-da! Right now, you can lock in some amazing financing. Get no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. Now, let's talk about installation, because this is where things can take a bad turn. And you don't want that headache. You know who installs our windows? We do. Our certified master installers are true craftsmen with years of experience. Remember, we're the replacement window division of Anderson, and Anderson's been around for over 120 years. We are not going anywhere. The other guys, yeah, sometimes they disappear, especially if things go wrong. We will answer the phone, and we will come out if there's ever a problem. Protect your home from all this crazy weather and pay nothing for 1 year. That's no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. Buy one window or door and get the next one 40% off. That's 40% off. Scan the QR code or call us at 1-800-704-4200. That's 1-800-704-4200.
These bills are crazy.
She has no idea she's sitting on a gold mine. She doesn't know that if she owns a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, she can sell all or part of it to Coventry for cash, even a term policy. You got your policy?
Find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. Call Coventry Direct today at 800-496-9200 or visit CoventryDirect.com.
We love being outside, but the sun makes our deck and patio too hot to enjoy.
Thanks to our new Sunsetter retractable awning, we can select full sun for instant shade.
It's 20 degrees cooler and you get protection from harmful rays and sun glare.
When you call, we'll issue a special $350 discount certificate with your free awning idea kit. You'll get your manual Sunsetter for less than $1,200. Add LED lighting for evening enjoyment. Life is better under a
Okay.
When you can watch, listen to the latest news, business, and news headlines on Sirius XM. Anytime.
1,
Fox
2,
on
3,
Sirius XM.
4,
Listen.
5, 6. One time Freddy's just already there. We got the fellas. Something's up da 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 do. Da 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 do do do. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. We're gonna be that much fucking serious.
Directly into the couple's bank accounts. Court documents say they lived together and were using these expenses to just cover everything they were doing on a daily
I
basis.
saw him.
The latest allegations stem
I mean, okay, JJ left. I saw it entered and JJ left.
They say it's tracking extremist groups every day. They're fighting discrimination. But the Trump administration says it's not what was going on. They believe it was funding, not fighting extremist groups, claiming millions of dollars were given to informants, including neo-Nazi members and
Oh,
even hosting extremist
that struck a chord in me.
and paying people to stay in the Ku Klux Klan when they said, please, I want to get out of here. The DOJ also says the SPLC bought supplies for cross burning and KKK robes and hoods. So last week, the House Judiciary Committee brought all of this up in a hearing on the SPLC up on Capitol Hill. And the CEO was asked if the nonprofit was using donations to manufacture hate instead of fighting it, something the organization says isn't true.
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center
Dear God.
money to recruit new individuals into those extremist groups?
I assume you don't want me to answer since you're not giving me time to answer.
No, I'm giving you time to answer because that's a yes. Did you use your donors' money for that purpose? Yes or no?
Again, those issues would be resolved in pending allegations against the SPLC.
See, if the answer is no, you can say no.
We've asserted that the allegations are false.
Well, he's gonna have more time to answer these questions because the investigation's far from over. The SPLC rather is asking this case to be dropped.
Oh.
But major financial platforms have already paused donations to the nonprofit as the investigation continues. Sandra, I got it. Alexis McAdams was on that for us. Thank you, John.
Well, that was an interesting round.
Uh-oh.
Democrats in the House Homeland Security Committee.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
They get to the center of recent riots in Newark, New Jersey.
Uh-oh.
Live on Capitol Hill with the latest. Hot dog.
John, good afternoon to you. Because Democrats aren't in the majority in the House right now, they don't get to call the shots on what hearings happen right here on Capitol Hill. So what they've decided to do is hold their own unsanctioned field hearing out in New Jersey about ICE and Delaney Hall. Now, that hearing kicked off just about an hour ago. As you mentioned, it's with the House Homeland Security Committee. The Democrats on that committee hosting this so-called shadow hearing right now. It's led by Congressman Benny Thompson. He's the highest-ranking Democrat on that committee. 0 Republicans are participating, as again, this is not sanctioned. The Democrats say they're going to take a look at the treatment of ICE detainees at Delaney Hall during this hearing. Some of the witnesses they have testifying include the mayor, the ACLU, and the U.S. Army detained by ICE.
Uh-oh.
Wrapped up a short time ago, and several Democrats called for Delaney Hall to be shut down.
We will keep standing up for detainees and the peaceful protesters at the hall. We will keep standing up to ICE violence. We will demand accountability for this administration, and we will shut down the Delaney Hall.
And President McAllen and all the members of the New Jersey delegation have called for immediately. I too call for the immediate closure of the Delaney Hall facility.
And John, this hearing is in a tiny room. It is close to the public. The audience is very
Oh,
small.
God.
If you want to watch it, it's being streamed by the Democrats live on YouTube.
This really is chaos.
We have a total of 95 people watching. The highest I've seen that go up to.
This is truly chaos.
15 people.
I cannot deny.
Tremendous amount of interest in that here, but here's the thing that I'm kind of puzzled about. You have all these prominent Democrats out there calling for Delaney Hall to be closed down. Delaney Hall was used as an immigration.
They're being thrown at me at the same time.
To 2017. Where were the calls from Democrats back then to close it down?
Crickets, John. There were no calls to close it down. It's like they didn't really have any problem with the border in the with immigration in the past. Now they do as soon as Trump is in office. But you're spot on. They had nothing to say about Delaney Hall until the Trump administration came in.
All right. Well, we got plenty to say about it now. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Bill Williams, of course, Bill, thank you. Senator?
All right, let's bring in former acting DHS Secretary Ted Wolf, Homeland Security and Immigration Chair at the American First Policy Institute. So, welcome to you. What do you want to add to the reporting on this?
Why?
Hearing the Democrats that are holding this unsanctioned. Your response?
Yeah, look, I haven't seen any facts. There's no data that supports that anything is askew at Delaney Hall.
Cam disabled. Dear God, why Cam disabled?
President Biden and President Biden. And so, if the Democrats really had a concern about it, where was their concern then? It's only when President Trump is in the presidency do they have a concern. And so just like Delaney Hall is just like every other detention facility around the country, and we've seen this playbook from the left time and time again. I saw it when I was at DHS. They complain about poor conditions. They complain about the food. They complain about medical.
35 there. I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna make you scared. I'm Freddy Fazbear's. You better close the doors or you will go.
Okay, so there was Cory Booker.
Was it something that I said?
Delaney ICE facility. This dates back to late May.
This is a facility that is overwhelmingly full of people who have not committed any.
Someone came in.
Should be an affront to everything.
Nord!
Decency.
There'll be a facility.
Bunny! Ah!
We believe that this facility should be closed, it should not exist, it should not
Again.
be open in the first place.
Okay. Bunny, you go back there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I would just say, look, the senator is now not concerned about the condition of Delaney Hall. He just doesn't want anyone in there to remain there. He wants them released into American communities. Just like we saw during President Biden, the American people rejected that. They want them detained and they want them removed. And everyone in Delaney Hall has violated.
Hey, we're getting close.
This idea that they're completely innocent, we're locking them up, randomly is just nonsense.
And there's this from New York mayor.
I'm Freddy Fibers. I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna make you come. I'm Freddy Fibers. I'm gonna get you and say
Yeah, so again, right out of the left playbook, when things go.
I did it! I did it!
That's what he was doing there. He's blaming law enforcement for protecting their facility. It's not as though ICE, this isn't Minneapolis. ICE is not in neighborhoods trying to. They're simply trying to protect Delaney Hall, which is a detention facility that they contract with. And so they're trying to protect their property, their officers, their detainees. And this idea that somehow, because they're doing that they're stoking all of the violence is absolutely absurd. It's a bad. So they're violent, they're absolutely.
Somebody does and obviously they're lying, but they're taking protest with their lives. Those that are in the hall are just have always a pleasure taking care of our lawyers. All right.
Democrats appear poised to elevate yet another socialist voice, even as some of the party war, they are drifting away from the voters that they need to win in the midterms. Andy Hayes and Matt Whitlock join us coming up next. The generics are very interesting because the Republicans are coming up strong even before this.
Things are bound to get worse.
Like the guy in Maine.
And they're all oh no. Oh no. They're already marching towards me. March 2, 3, 4, March 2, 3, 4, March 2, 3, 4, March 2, 3, 4. That's what they're all like. March 2, 3, 4, March 2, 3, 4, March 2, 3, 4, March 2, 3, 4. Like they're already marching. Marching to, oh my god!
I'd like to tell you about why Reebok.
They be Toreador marching towards me.
And did you know that you could invest in 1 to 5 years? You can start your investment progressive
No.
daily and you're paid monthly. Would you like some more information?
I'm gonna get you hanging out on the bay. Oh my god.
That's investyrebuy.com. For complete details, make sure to review the private placement memorandum to scan this QR code. Review the disclosures at your leisure. Why refund? Investing.
They be Toledo marching towards me.
Compare your GLP-1s with personalized plan for new or take results. While losing 7% more weight when you build healthy habits with new. New is more than less, which is honestly why I chose new. GLP-1s to kickstart your weight loss, new to make it last. Get started now for $79. It's for dads, real dads, snapping dads, united by their love of steak. His perfect gift is waiting, plus 8 free burgers. Get it in time for Father's Day at omahasteaks.com.
Taking down child predators. From partnering with law enforcement to exposing criminals, Chris Hansen details his latest work tonight on Primetime.
Kids are the center of our world.
Oh!
Tools that are crackable
affordable, mashable, and made for tiny hands. Our secret foods are designed just for babies and toddlers learning to self-feed. Every bite is packed with nutrient-rich ingredients that grow, perfectly sized, expertly balanced, with textures and flavors that expand tiny taste buds, helping kids build healthy habits and bodies, bite by bite. Nurture life.
Bite by night.
They're the worst. No, really, I tried them all and they are all the same. But something better has entered the chat. That something is Tovala. Say goodbye to meal kits and say hello to dinner that cooks itself. Tovala takes all the guesswork out of your daily cooking. Just scan a code, sit back, and let the Tovala do the rest. Fresh, effortless meals that cook themselves? Yeah, it's a vibe. Tovala. Get started at Tovala.com. What's for dinner? What if you already have the answer? It's Tovala.
Oh my god. He's lunging towards the camera.
Tovala. You. We'll do dinner.
Our officials at Edwards Air Force Base just released the names of the members who died on Monday. Tracked shortly after takeoff on full test missions. And field is expected to close until tomorrow. They're expected to start again next week. Don?
Sandra, we are on the verge of a Donnie moment right here in Washington, D.C. Votes are still being counted under the city's ranked choice.
They're both here.
Janice Lewis George holds a commanding lead in the mayoral.
Son of a bitch.
Ending cooperation with ICE, city-run grocery stores, and free buses for some residents.
I really thought he was gone until the last damn second. And that's just foop doop, man. Foop doop.
So here was Janice Lewis George last night. It's preliminary in terms of the victory party, but she'll probably win nonetheless.
Campaign has resonated with so many people because we gave voice to one simple truth, that the status quo is unsustainable for working people in DC. As mayor, I will work with you who makes DC safer, but I will also stand up to Trump.
Ow.
DC is a place where we look out for each other.
Recently, blue cities are going socialist because the free stuff is a very powerful aphrodisiac.
I just don't know that that's necessarily going to come to fruition, right? I mean, I live in DC and it's not what I voted for. I'd like someone to focus on public safety and going into CVS and your items being there rather than being under lock and key or, those types of things. And I also would like them to work on some of the 311, that's the public service that you call to get your snow removed or if there's a rat problem with DC has. So,
Grandma, are you gonna make any breakfast?
if you wanted something, you said you didn't know.
What about waffles?
Focusing on and not these other socialist ideas.
Right, one of the things that he is opposed to is this curfew for,
What?
keeps 10 gangs off the streets of DC.
You gonna do it?
And this was something that Muriel Bowser fully supported. Muriel Bowser, to her credit, worked actually pretty well with President Trump on public safety issues and utilizing the National Guard to make the district safer. Janice Lewis George's top priority is more to appeal to the far left constituencies that got her elected, and that's going to be a huge problem for the District of Columbia, but also everywhere else, because the Democrat socialists are on the rise. They have about 250 elected across the country in some of these big cities. Infrastructure that they don't support these candidates is really something to be studied. They have candidate boot camps. They have resources from dark money groups funding their rise, and they're not going away. You're saying more to come. Right? These candidates are spreading like wildfire. And now Sherman and Peabody, I want you to get in the Wayback Machine to a year ago and listen to Megan.
Oh, gosh. What might work in New York will not work in the rest of the country, as we very well know. His message will not resonate in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Michigan, but it is resonating with people in New York City, which is a different voting bloc than the rest of the country.
All right, so maybe we're not in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, but we're now in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and I stand by that. I was actually thinking about that. Sure. I think the problem is there are physical bottom anti-competition. So I think a lot of people are just revolting against what is the norm and what people are having.
And
Right?
it comes with an area of balancing to role that you need.
So I think that moderate stuff, I think she worked with Trump, and I think people are mad about that. And then it's the moderate and the anti-competition, and you see it all about the country, Democrats and Republicans. So I just think, and I agree that those models are not going to work in other places. So I just, in DC, it might work against similar to New York. There are a big deal.
Well, famous Democrat Doug Shell thinks that all of this is going to work against the Democrats' party. Here's what he said. If far left Democrats keep saving Republicans from themselves.
Oh my God, my eye, it hurts.
Cycle, potentially with the slate of nominees whose positions and backgrounds may do more to help rescue the GOP than anything Republicans have done or will be able to do for themselves. Despite an arguably favorable political environment for the Democrats, the Democratic Party has yet again taken steps to shoot itself in the foot before what may have been emerging as a 2018 style landslide. Economist poll has got the GOP now just 3 points behind the Democrats in the general preference.
Well, I think that op-ed is exactly right. When you look at Michigan, for example, Michigan is getting closer and closer because Abdul El-Sayed, the radical DSA candidate there, is giving Mike Rogers a huge opportunity to be the normal guy in that race. Same with Graham Fatner in Maine. Graham Fatner is one of the worst candidates we've ever seen in history, not just because of the disqualifying behavior, Nazi tattoo, and history of abuse, but because he's a communist, and that's going to help Susan Collins a lot. And the entire map for
Survive.
The James David, keep calling you a Nazi. This guy's got a Nazi tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Thanks, David.
That was the crazy scene outside of courthouse where 15 Antifa lead activists were facing federal charges. That's next. She's really getting up there. Yeah, she is. I don't feel her age. At your age. Ask the queen.
You be driving down the road, God forbid something
Normal.
happens, you're in your transmission, now you gotta figure out how to tow the car, where to tow it to, how much it's gonna cost.
Bye-bye.
Whereas you have a company like CarShield back you and you make a phone call, everything's taken care of.
I'm here today with real life mechanics who are here to set the record straight on why auto repairs have gotten so expensive and why CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company. Like what everyone wants to know is why repairs have gotten so expensive.
So many computers, what it
Ask!
40 years ago, it was very simple. So that's one of the biggest reasons why everything is just skyrocketed.
So can you walk us through a little bit on like a car breakdown? What happens on the customer side and what you see?
Every day at our shop, there's people that just come and bawling their eyes out because their car's warranty just ran out. They got all these new expenses now they have to pay for. We see it happen all the time. We just had one recently come in at 30-some thousand miles, throwing the car back to the dealership, thinking it's under warranty. They said she just passed her mile mark and there's no warranty. Now she's got like 7,000.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, pretty much good luck to you. And
How much was that repair?
about $7,000.
$7,000.
She didn't have the extended warranty, so pretty much have to pay out of
Out of luck.
So what the average cost of repairs, for instance, on a transmission would range anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000. Engines could go anywhere from $5,000 to $14,000, $15,000. If you can get CarShield, do it. Don't even think twice. Give them a call, see what you can do to get on that program because it's going to give you peace of mind. Get some sort of.
No other company. Now, before your car breaks down.
If your car's out of warranty, CarShield can save you thousands. Just call before the breakdown happens. Lock in your
Flush, baby.
and get your free quote now. Call
Hate it.
806-7774. 800-806-7774.
It's a fucking flush, baby. I hate it.
7774.
I hate it. I hate it. Hate it for having an ugly face and being so damn terrifying. Probably just a bitty bad replacement. I don't know. My eye isn't eyeing.
Get Dad Cardia Mobile this Father's Day for just $69 at Cardia.com or Amazon. So Dad can start keeping charge of his heart count. Pop fingers right on those pads. There you go. In 30 seconds, we're going to have medical grade EKG. There it is. Look at that. Cardia Mobile is proven to detect up to 3 of the most common arrhythmias, including atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke. Cardia Mobile is the #1 doctor-recommended personal EKG. Plus, it's the most affordable EKG you can get without a prescription at a fraction of the cost of a smartwatch. Help Dad check his heart anytime, anywhere this Father's Day with Cardia Mobile. On sale now for just $69 at Cardia.com or Amazon.
I never thought this would happen.
When disaster takes control of your life, we got you. Get it back with a single call to the team that shows up.
Goodbye.
Things right. Servo.
Goodbye.
That happened.
Bye-bye. Protests outside the Minnesota courthouse were accused Antifa advocated federal charges tied to violent protests outside a state immigration facility earlier this year. Our correspondent Derek Kennedy is reporting live on this at Chicago.
Don't
200 people there outside the federal courthouse protesting the charges against their fellow activists by doing some of the same things those defendants are accused of. You can see this group tried to block off the entrance to the courthouse, and when U.S. Marshals moved in and cleared the area, closed the door, one activist got chucked to the ground. Officers started using chemical spray to breathe.
What?
After the court hearing, Cameron Kennedy,
Thank you. Well, I thought. What?
Leader of federal officer said this is a political prosecution, and that all he did, like
The fuck did I just see?
protest against ICE. They arrested us because they're trying to find a larger.
My eyes ain't even eyesing right now.
And I think we are just the tip of the iceberg with this. They are definitely trying to come after people more for political reprisal. But prosecutors claim that 15 members of several Antifa-aligned groups were pushing for and carrying out a much more militant and violent kind of resistance. In one Facebook post, last peaceful protest, Kennedy says, "I want to make this as clear as I can. You will never win against non-violence alone, ever. No one has, no one will. It absolutely needs militants to win." And one of the Canadians who's also been indicted was posting videos on social media like this.
My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa. This is not a joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your guns and stop.
These 15 charged individuals could be just the start. We know that dozens of people took part in several of those operations, like this one outside the Federal Whipple building in January. And prosecutors say their investigation is ongoing.
All right, Karen, thank you very much for the update. And that nearly brings us to the top of the hour. John, that was a big show.
You know, quite a day, wasn't it? My goodness, from the president and G7 to everything else that we had. It out between 1 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when it all happens, which is why you got to keep it right.
The breaking news happens here, and we always have it covered for everybody. Thanks to everybody for joining us on this. I don't know, I think about it. Wednesday afternoon, John.
Feels like it should be Friday by now. But we will see you tomorrow for what we like to call around here Friday evening.
All right, that does it for us. Thanks. I'm Sandra Smith.
And I'm John Rock.
You know, that movie comes out this weekend. Twist of the Thigh. So, you want to go see it, you better behave yourself. And when I tell you to get off the computer at 6 o'clock, you better get off.
Also says that the Street of Hormones will be open for 60 days, toll-free. President Trump says that a deal depends on Iran, quote, behaving, or they will get, quote, hit again.
It's a memorandum of understanding. If it doesn't get done in 60 days, that's when we go back to bombing. Yeah, I don't want to do that because it's so good. But we might have to. Because we're never going to let them have a nuclear weapon. But they've agreed not to, and you'll see that very clearly in the agreement.
David Adlin and Matsi Alinejad join me in moments, but first to senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy. A lengthy news conference with President Trump at the G7 in France. Hi, Peter.
Yes, and Martha, if Iran lives up to their end of the deal, they will get to cash in big time, billions of dollars worth of selling oil. They can also apply for this money in a fund to help rebuild, and they can see some of their own funds unfrozen. But President Trump wants to make one thing very clear: none of that money is coming directly from the U.S. taxpayers. Explain, though, what the difference is between giving Iran U.S. dollars and unfreezing U.S. dollars for
Well, the unfreezing, as the easy one could answer. We have taken a lot of their money, and we have their money. We have taken their money, it's not our money, it's their money, and we froze it. At a certain point in time, I guess we're going to have to give it back.
While we were there with the president, senior officials were briefing reporters on a conference call, and so we were learning a lot all at once about this new deal, including how the United States will get Iran to stick to their pledge not to pursue a nuclear weapon.
Bomb Iran if they don't comply, but there's nothing enforceable in the deal itself. Is that correct?
Doesn't have to be.
That's because President Trump says if they start breaking the rules, the U.S. will resume a bombing campaign again. Same story if the Strait of Hormuz closes or if Iran tries to charge tolls in the strait.
Thing that's going to stop them from doing that, because you can't cover everything in a document, is common sense. They don't want to get bombed. They don't want to get hit.
It looks like Air Force One just landed in Paris. President Trump has dinner at Versailles tonight, and we did have a chance to ask him why he's not sticking around here in Europe for Friday's signing of this memorandum of understanding. I asked if that's because he wants J.D. Vance to go so that if things work out, he gets credit for sending the vice president, and if things don't, he can blame the vice president. The president said, Martha.
Yeah, you look at it, yeah, Peter. Thank you very much. So with that, we bring in David Asman, Fox Business anchor, and Matsi Alinejad, Iranian American journalist and activist who survived multiple kidnapping and assassination attempts by Iran. Great to have both of you with us here. Matsi, just first your sort of headline as you look at this deal. How do you feel about it? What does it do for Iran?
First of all, I give credit to President Trump for killing Ali Khamenei, who was the biggest enemy of America, who was the one who ordered the massacre. When he removed the high-ranking members of Revolutionary Guards, the terrorist organization, we gave him credit. That was a real win. But let's just quote President Trump when he said he only accepted an unconditional surrender from the Islamic Republic. This deal is very far away from unconditional surrender. So I don't call it a real win. Because first of all, there is no mention about the people of Iran, about the massacre, about the human rights. I was a big critic of President Obama for years and years for abandoning the people of Iran. President Trump was the one who promised, who delivered some of the promises, but this deal, it's not surrender. So for me and millions of Iranians, we are nervous because we know that how they're going to use the money to rebuild the Hamas, to rebuild the Hezbollah, to rebuild the Houthi. And I'm here to echo the voice of people who are better allies for Americans, the people of Iran. These government, we cannot dream that they're going to change their behaviors. You know, when President Biden actually walked out from Afghanistan, I said that myself, that President Biden only replaced the Taliban with the Taliban by spending a lot of resources of Americans. I think this is quite like the same. President Trump replaced the Islamic Republic with the Islamic Republic.
So David, the president went through a number of things on the accomplishment side of the ledger, the killing of Soleimani, the taking out of 2 levels of regime, which Matsi just mentioned, and the obliteration of the 3 nuclear sites, all obviously very aggressive moves that no prior president took. But then I think he made it clear at this moment in history, as he looks at his presidency, he is more interested in the economy than in going down the further military route at this moment. And here's what he had to say about not wanting to be Herbert Hoover. Watch.
The normal flow of energy will resume in the coming days. And And trillions of dollars will be made by the world rather than having your favorite president be Herbert Hoover. I was always the one, I think, what being who caused the Great Depression. So I don't think I'll make mistakes like that.
So we're rising oil prices, a risk of a depression in the United States and further around the world.
Well, first of all, it never rose to where it was during the Biden administration. Remember, it went up to $5 a gallon for gas in June of 2022. And in today's money, by the way, it's $5.60. Now it's just down to $4.02. Looks like it's going into the $3 level pretty quickly. The price of oil, as you can see at the bottom of the right screen, is no longer in the 90s. It's now $76.51. So already, because of what's happened, the thing is looking much better from an economic standpoint. There is a midterm election coming up after all. I don't mean to be cynical, but that, I think, played part into his decision. However, having said all the positives, and you mentioned the military positives of just really defanging this regime, at least in the short term, for a year, 2 years.
What are we doing right now?
That was significant. No other president has done what he did to strike at the heart.
How much of that is trash can when they start blowing in the
But there's so
face?
many unknowns about exactly
It's a trash can.
how much money Iran
So they don't-
was going to get to rebuild. Exactly. What's going to happen with the Strait of Hormuz? This concept of the ridiculous concept of allowing international waterways like the Strait of Hormuz to become a toll booth. I mean, it's not like the Panama Canal where you're paying for the infrastructure to get you through. Again, we don't know the details. This is a memorandum of understanding. It is not the actual deal. Tweaks can be made along the way. In fact, I think a lot of what the president's been doing this week is to sit back, kind of get the feedback from what the world is happening.
I think for 1 second, here, President Trump in Paris.
Europe's great people, and we'll see how that works out. I think it'll be very good. The president will be there. Madam, and I think we're gonna have a good time. The press conference seems to have gone well. We shot your load pretty much, Steve, right? Pretty much. But going well. Seems like the agreement's very well undertow. Are you coming to Versailles with us? I hope, I'm gonna try and get you to do the tour because honestly, it's unbelievable. Okay, so.
They held rates today.
Whatever.
And it looks like they might even raise them later this year. They're cutting.
Well, it can happen. I mean, it's hard to believe. It just keeps the country down. You know, it's so unusual. But we have a very good guy over there now, so I'm guided by what he wants. Was this his first? Yeah, I don't know. I saw a statement that just came out.
We have clarity on when the deal will be signed or
Over the next, I'd say 48 hours.
just be that.
I'd say 48 hours. We haven't determined yet. It's in final form. We haven't determined.
U.S. military at the goal.
What?
How long will you leave the U.S. military at the goal?
It's a good question. We haven't thought of it. We're really probably a while. It's a good place to stay. Question was, how long will you leave the military in the Gulf? I would say a little while. See how it all goes. I think it's going to go well. But we'll see. So I will see you guys at Versailles.
And all look quickly at
Yeah.
the press conference. If you don't mind, Ron, adding ballistic, can you elaborate on that? I don't want to make
No, I'm saying that if other countries have them, it's a little bit unfair for them not to have some. A ballistic missile is not the same thing as what we're talking about, But if Saudi Arabia and Qatar and they all have some, I would say in relative proportion, I think it's that's what I mean. Okay?
How important is it that MOU which just came out, that I read commits not only to non-side, but also to also
That's great. Much less important because it's very hard to get. I don't think anybody can get it. We can get at it with great work and a lot of time. But the B-2 bombers and those great pilots, now you understand they did their job. So much less important than not having them in very well.
We're going to expect they could not have to dinner. It's just kind of part of a long farewell.
President Macron? No, not really for that. I think he's just honoring our country. And you have the biggest people from Europe, great people. You might have a list. You have a list of the people. Very impressive group of people.
There was a hotline moment in the G7 where the Canadian Prime Minister was talking to the Chinese car cap, and he said like it.
I like what?
The cap that Canada put on Chinese car imports. You were talking about it with Carney.
Well, I don't know that I said I like it, but I could understand that. Yeah.
Is that a fact?
Would I rather see a cap than no cap? Yeah, I would. On Canada.
Would the U.S. ever consider allowing Chinese cars?
Well, we haven't. They pay over 100% tariff, so we don't have the problems that Europe has or Canada.
How long do you hope President Gay negotiations or reviews go on?
Well, it's not something that's, to me, I think it's better without it. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of it. I liked it because it got us out of NAFTA. In other words, after 6 years, you had to close it, got us out of NAFTA. That's the thing I liked about it most. We do better without an agreement.
Do you want to leave it enrolling?
I would rather leave it unsigned. I'd rather have it terminated.
Rather than permanent, well, those are different things, so I just wanted to get clear.
I would rather not have the agreement, but I may sign it.
Right.
But we do better as a country if we don't have an agreement. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe we won't be able to make a deal. I would rather not have the USMCA. The primary reason I wanted it was because there was no way out of NAFTA, which is the worst trade agreement ever made, like ever. And they had no termination. And it was very hard to get USMCA for that reason. And I had a 6-year close. Who would have thought I would have been here in the 6 years? They got it 6 years because they hoped I wouldn't be here. My term was supposed to be over with. So on top of everything else, it comes to, I would prefer not having an agreement, but I'm open to doing it. We'll see what happens.
So now it's just going to stick around for 10 years.
We're not, no, it's not sticking around. It'll be terminated. In other words,
After a decade.
it expires.
Yeah, in a decade.
It expires. I prefer that. I view it as it possibly expiring immediately.
In the first paragraph of the Iran memorandum, it says through the support, but also the effect of the use of force. Talk about blocking Iran if they didn't comply. Does threat if Iran to see that as
If they don't come through, is it a threat that we bomb? You can call whatever you want, but it'll probably happen. Thank you. I will see you at Versailles, and you're gonna go back and tell the New York Times you're gonna change your whole way of life.
final agreement?
No, I don't. Take long.
You can expect.
But it's technically,
I don't view it as hard.
don't think that it's a hard time.
Just as long as they're behaving, I really don't care about it. I don't. No, we didn't discuss it. I should discuss it. Well, they do pretty well. Russia's a big country, big, much bigger military. But they're doing pretty well. They're holding their own. They have great equipment with our equipment numbers, but they're doing pretty well. Well, they pay for it. I send it to Europe. Europe pays for it. NATO pays for it. Unlike Biden, where he gave $300 billion worth of equipment.
What are you gonna do about that? Sanctions on Russia, like the oil waiver.
Yeah, I may put it back on. I wanted to make sure that oil stayed as low as possible. Now that the oil price is way down, when you see those numbers, when it's way down, I may put it back on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, President Trump, the last thought there on oil. This is clearly one of the biggest focuses of where he is determined to have a good outcome at this point, to lower the price of oil, to ease the economic situation around the globe. It's right now trading at $76.31. We saw it as high as mid-90s. So it has dropped considerably over the past several weeks. Moxie, question to you. He talked about the fact that in terms of where he is sitting now, he thinks it's okay for Iran to have missiles. He said not ballistic missiles, but missiles. He said because all their neighbors have them. Let's think about that. It's okay for them to have missiles. Their neighbors have them. And then let's go back to what the president said at the end of February, when he said, when we're finished, to the people of Iran, when we're finished, take over your government The hour of freedom is at hand. Talk to me about the difference in those two statements.
First of all, we're talking about Islamic Republic. They're not a normal government. They can, I've been fighting against Islamic Republic all my life. That's why they send killers here in America. And ask every single Iranian. We know that killing is in their DNA. So they will never, ever give up their nuclear weapons at all. So they cannot be trusted. They are the one they wanted to kill President Trump. You cannot trust them. So, but as David said, this is a memorandum of understanding.
Yeah.
And I hope that we have a mechanism to stop them from having their weapons, not just on paper, because as I said, they cannot be trusted. They're really good. As President Trump himself said that they're really good. They lose all war, but they win all negotiations because they know how to buy guns. So for me, when I see President Trump ask the people of Iran, they will come, they can take, I'm sure one day sooner or later, Iranians will take back to the street and will get rid of the Islamic Republic with empty hands.
Well, no, I'm glad you said that though, because when you look at the fall of the Berlin Wall, you look at the end of World War II, the fight against tyranny takes time. And I think we all hope that the hour of freedom for Iran will be at hand eventually. And this negotiation, we hope, will undercut their power in the long term.
All of the Berlin Wall, not only Europe were united, the whole world were united. Now they pick a fight against Trump. And they pick a fight against America. Europeans, the G7, are not as united as they did.
Anyway, there's another connection between the fall of the Soviet Union and this. We had a peace dividend at the end of the Soviet Union. We had a peace dividend. It led for years. It led, by the way, to a balanced budget under Bill Clinton, even though it was done before him. I think we could have a peace dividend if we've already defanged militarily. If we are able to lead to the end of the regime, we would have a peace dividend that would solve problems for not just the Middle East, but for the whole world.
Now, I think ultimately the reworking of the Middle East with Iran losing any powerful position at all, and President Trump has clearly done a lot to take the legs out from underneath this regime in the past during this term for sure, and we'll see where it all goes in the long term. Thank you very much, Moxie and David. Great to have you both with us today, and good to hear some more comments from the president on the ground in Paris as he prepares for a dinner at Versailles with the Macrons and others. So now to this. The hunt is on for more suspects accused in a domestic terror plot targeting the huge gathering at the UFC fight on Sunday night. They were going to use drones, snipers on nearby buildings, and explosives. Attorney Joshua Ritter joins me next.
Did you have any idea that this was happening? Somebody was apparently planning to do something horrible on Sunday.
Yeah, there was more than that. There was more than that, yes. I was in the loop on all of the stuff that was happening in real time. These are the kind of events that bring the nuts in. You know what I mean?
For pain in multiple spots like here, or here, Salon Boss patches stick firmly and remove comfortably once your pain is gone. Salon Boss, it's good medicine.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly.
It was a thermostat, $2,600. About $3,400.
But with Endurance, you'll never pay out of pocket for car repairs again.
Wait, really?
Really?
It was like almost a $6,000 job. Endurance covered it. Less than 1 year after signing up, Endurance saved me over $7,000.
Without Endurance, fixing your AC could cost $1,100. Your transmission, nearly $5,000. Your engine, $8,000.
It's a bad camera unit, $800 to repair a bad wheel bearing, over $1,000. New steering rack, close to $3,000.
But with Endurance, your car's most expensive repairs are covered, parts and labor included.
In my first year with Endurance, they covered a $14,000 engine replacement. I'll save thousands and thousands of dollars.
Plus,
Okay.
Endurance lets you pick any certified mechanic to do the work, or take advantage of the GI repair network.
We tell them what needs to be fixed, and they just say it's covered. All right. But does Endurance raise your rate the more claims you buy?
No, your rate stays the same no matter how many claims you file.
After I made my first claim to Endurance, I expected my rates to change. And it wasn't. Covers this good.
Must be still.
Totally be February competitor.
If your dog's under 20 years old, the insurance section covers with unlimited miles. Plus, you'll find 24/7 roadside assistance anywhere in the country.
So, who's the freaking out there? You?
Yeah, exactly. Right now, you get $300 off each plan. Plus, a vehicle benefits a $2,000 value. When 3640 for free program. That's 1-800-672-3640.
Wow.
Years ago, Riverbend Ranch set out
Oh!
a lot of you. The highest quality Angus cattle.
Something just filled.
What?
Nothing really. Not really. It just fell.
Okay, I don't want any drinks over there.
It's your future health,
No drinks.
your future income, or your future happiness. Becoming an AARP member today can help. Join now for just $15 for your first year of automatic renewal.
Big suck. Let me know. Oh no. Oh. Plus travel. No. That's good. Mixed nuts. Your ball sack has been turned clockwise. It's red. Adidas. What's your dumbass Adidas? Ba-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da, oh, da-da-da, no, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. I'll suck your balls. Flashy. Flashy spoopy. Spoopy. He's only just staring at you. Probably because he was. Curtain open. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Something, something, something. Ah. Freddy Faz. I don't know. It's kind of easy once you deal with the phantoms. Phantoms. Ah! 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 Goodbye. Forever. That's it. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Bonnie and Freddie. Freddie. Oh, oh, it's just candy and food. Uh-oh. Never mind. Where you at now? Five a.m. 5 a.m. Oh my god. My arm hurts.